Hello everyone, this is Candy, the 614 Stitcher, and today is Sunday, June the 20th, 2021, and this is my Flosstube episode number 13. Thank you so very much for stopping by and checking out what I have been working on for the past couple of months. This will be a regular Flosstube. I recorded a StitchCon recap week, or last week on Tuesday. And this will be a regular floss tube. For those of you who have just found my channel for the first time, I hope you find something that will inspire you and enable you to keep coming back. For my new subscribers, I really thank you and appreciate you subscribing to my channel. Hopefully you will stay enabled also. If you have questions or just want to reach out and ask about a project that I'm working on, please feel free to do so. I love interacting with different stitchers in the community. And for my returning subscribers, I thank you so very much for all of your comments and support. In this journey, it is wonderful, and I am thankful to be in the community and to be able to enable and be enabled. Thank you so very much. I am going to jump right in. This video is going to be a recap of what I worked on in May and this first part of June. In my haste to keep working overtime to prepare for StitchCon and then going to StitchCon and coming back, I was not able to really record a video for May. I recorded one. However, May was a good month and I did get a lot of stitching done, and so we're going to just jump right in so that I can show you what I have going on. I want you to know that I have my fan blowing, so you might see blowing like the calendar and all of that. It's 90 degrees here today, but I have not turned on my air conditioning yet. It's not hot enough yet for me to turn on my air conditioning. I don't mind the heat, so I just have a fan running because what I don't want is for you to watch me sit here and just perspire a whole lot. So the first thing I'm going to talk about are my 4 finishes. Actually, I'm only going to show you 3 of them. I showed my 4th finish in my special recap of StitchCon video, and it was the My Therapist Knows You. And I'm calling that a finish. However, I am looking to find 2 armchairs to put on the piece to finish it off. So until I find those and they meet the right scale, I'm calling that finished. And then when I find the chairs, I'll put them on and then it'll be really finished and I can FFO it. However, my first May finish was my May monthly flowers, and this is in the 2020 editions of the Just Cross Stitch magazine. They have 2 in each month, and this was the Mayflower. And I have started the June flower. My goal on these are to get them stitched before the end of the month so that I can just keep moving right along with the year and have them all completed by the time 2020 is over with. So that's the May one. And I really love them. Each month has a different flower. The flower colors are similar, but they're different. It's really they're nice quick pieces to stitch up. This is on a 16 count fabric by Fortnite Fabrics. By the name of the fabric is Hedgehog. However, it was a fabric of the month and it is no longer available. My second finish, or third, is the June Heart and Hand Square Dance, and it is the little ice cream here. And I did change some of the colors around. I did not use the darker brown for the June. I stayed in the same colorway. I just didn't want, to me, that just pulls your eye right to the June, and the whole ice cream was what I was really focusing on. So I actually do have a finish in mind for this, and I'm not sure if I'll get it done before the end of the month, but when I do finish it, I will be showing it to you, even if it's in July, because I have a really cute finish in mind for it. So that's my square dance for the month of June. And that was finish number 3, 2, 2, 3. And then my last finish for the month of May was A Little Beach by Lizzie Kate. And I did change this up also. I did not put in the sunshine because I'm a little too close up here. But it also was fine for me because it has the sunshine motif in it. And I was fine with that. I did use all the call for DMC. And I was trying to think. Sorry, I thought I had it in my notes. What the fabric was. Oh, it is also, I was in the Fortnite Fabric of the Month Club, and so a lot of the fabrics you're going to see are from that club. And this particular color is Marigold. And I chose it because it was nice yellow to go with the beach theme. And I love this so very, very, very much. It was a nice piece to stitch on. And so it made me really happy, especially since I haven't been to the beach. Well, I went to the beach in December, but the beach in December is way different than the beach in June. So that made me really happy. So those were my finishes for the month of May. And I am going to move on to my whips in May. So on top of those 4 projects that I did, I also worked on the monthly, for the month of May, I worked on mental health care sal, and that is why I did my therapist knows. And I did thank them on the special edition. However, again, I would like to thank Shelley, Proverbs 31:22, and Lynn X Stitches Creates for joining me in that style. I am going to continue that next May also, because it is my belief that we need to bring more awareness to mental health care and remove the stigma that is surrounding it. Many people suffer, and a lot of them in silence, and they treat themselves, which is not always a good thing. So I will be continuing that on. So again, ladies, thank you so very much for your support in that style. So whenever we have in the monthly magazine challenge group for the acrostic, I have been choosing my ink circles piece. So I have been working on it, and this is where I got to. I had a goal in May of stitching on this for 3 hours, and that is about where I got to. I keep extending the border out as I go along, so that I know that it'll match up perfectly. And then I actually started in this corner over here, and I am working the blues down. And I right now have been doing, well, in May I did the outlining, so it curves around and comes around, and that's where this ended up being for the end of May. I have put this away, even though there is an I in June's acrostic. I have put this away for a little while so that I could start something new and fresh. So that's where I was on my Seasonal Sunshine by Ink Circles. And then I also started in May as part of the acrostic for May. I know I keep going back to May. This, the word for the acrostic in May was daisy. So the ice cream, I said, was delicious ice cream. A was a little beach. I was the ink circles. S was stitch life, which was my therapist knows. And the Y is Oh Shell Yeah by Barefoot Needle Arts. And this is the chart. And this is where I got to on the acrostic. And my goal for this was 2 hours, and I did make that goal. I did make all the goals for my acrostic for May, and I was so very happy with myself. So this is stitched on an 18 count peach fabric, and I'm using the called for DMC threads, except for the words. I am using Caribbean Bay by Gentle Arts. And you can see it does go in and out. This is the beginning of the shell at the very top, and there is quite a bit of back stitching to the linen to show the stitching of the shell versus just the fabric. So there's a lot of back stitching in the very top part of this and all of the lines. And so I will be working on this again soon. I'm a beach girl at heart, even though I was born landlocked. But I'm going to start, I'll go over that in plans. I'm going to start pulling out more of my beach summertime stitches, just so that I can get things moving forward with them. I love the beach and the sea and turtles and fish, and I want to continue working on those, and I don't seem to be pulling them out during the acrostic for the monthly magazine challenges very often. So I'm gonna maybe tweak my plans a little bit to be able to include some of those in there. So that was all of my May. So now we're going to move on to June, and the acrostic for June, the theme was the theme is summer, and I have a beach scene, and this is supposed to be in haul, but I'm going to show it now because this is where it's at. I purchased Whimsical cross stitch, and I actually got to look through the book before I purchased it. And so I purchased this. Sorry, I need to cover up this. This actually has some very nice little small motifs in it. This isn't working very well. Okay, there we go. And so it has this in it for the beach scene. And I need to start this because I was going to start it at StitchCon and that never happened. So I'm going to be starting that this week and see how many hours I can get in on it. I actually have it slated to finish it because I was going to start it maybe on 28 count. However, now that I have been stitching on 28 count and 25 count, that part of my goal, I put that in my goal to try 28 count for this piece. I've actually met that goal already, but now I need to start stitching the actual piece. So this is Beach Scene, and it is for the theme Summer. So the acrostic for the monthly magazine challenge is swim. And I started a chart by Lori Holt, and it is called Stitchy Stars, and this is what it looks like. And I am stitching it on a 14 count Aida. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe it's lamb's wool Aida. And my goal for this is to finish the first 2 blocks. This is also going in with Miss Dina, half stitch, cross stitch. She put out a challenge to stitch patriotic in June to get some patriotic stitching in before the 4th of July came along. And so I joined in because this is actually, if you can see, you know, there's a lot of red, white, and blue. They did put in the teal and the pink, but it fit for me. And this is the S in swim. And my next one is actually in my Garon bag that I did take to StitchCon with me, and I did do a little start on it, and it is the wee one, which is for the W, and it is the quilting bird. And I started this on a 28 count fabric, and I'm sorry, I don't know what the colorway is, and this was what I did get finished. When I was at StitchCon and I started this, I was so excited because I could actually do it. So I had my friend Liz, and she is the Wandering Stitcher on Instagram. And I had my other friend Lynn sitting next to me, and she is Lynn X Stitches Lynn X Stitches Creates on Instagram. And I had them both sitting next to me so that when I started this, if I had questions, I could ask them. Well, in my haste to get started, I used the wrong color for the border. So now I need to first figure out what color this is because it's not in my little Garon bag. I don't know what I did. I don't know at all. The border color is supposed to be 3052. Well, this is nowhere near because this is 3052. So, okay. I was like, not a problem because the stitches are great. And I was like, I'm not ripping those out. I'm going to figure out what color this is. And the more I keep looking at it, it looks like 310. So I was like, you know, my quilting bird will have a black box around him instead of a green one. And I'll just keep right on going with it. My goal for this is to finish it. And that probably will not happen once you all see all of the other projects that I have started since getting back home from StitchCon. But I have already decided that I am going to put the quilting bird and the stitching bird on this same piece of fabric, and it will be a Christmas gift for one of my friends in the quilt guild. In my quilt guild, she does both stitching and quilting, and so I thought that would make a really nice Christmas gift for her. Once I figure out how to make this, there is 310 used in the sewing machine and in part of the quilt block, so it's not like it's too far off. I'll just need to, make sure that it's not all black with 310. And I'll, make sure I do the bird in the right color and all of that. I just was like, I'm like, what did I do? I actually looked at it for a couple of days once I got home. Like, how am I going to fix this? But it's just floss. It'll match. So I'm not going to worry about it. My next piece that I still need to start for June for swim is my butterfly. And on this piece, I actually slated 4 hours. So I'm going to be picking this up and getting it mounted on my scroll frame and putting 4 hours in it because I needed to be moving forward. I'm sorry, Albert hears somebody outside, so that caught my attention. I am going to be stitching this on a 14 count piece of Ada, and it is Graceful Gray by Witchell, which I love. They called for a white, however, gray is my neutral that I love, so that's what I'm going to use. And because it's a rainbow effect, it'll still look fine, so I'm going to go with my gray color. But I will be putting some stitches in this, and you will be able to see it next week when I come back and show it to you. I'm going to get that all taken care of and put up. And my last piece for my magazine monthly challenge group is in my Lynn X Stitch Creates bag. I'm slowly but surely getting enough project bags now that I can start putting all of my projects that I'm working on during the month in a project bag. Is my Progressive Pride flag, and this is by MI Studio Creates. Her name is Brooke. She is a wonderful designer. She is wonderful. I've actually gotten a couple of charts from her, so I'll be showing you those as we go along. I'm not sure about in this video, but I'll be showing them. And so my goal for this piece, do I have it going the right way? Yes. My goal for this piece is to get all of the outlining done. I know I said in my StitchCon recap that I was going to finish this by this month. That is not, I don't know what I was thinking, because that's not going to happen. However, it will give me something to stitch on when I am waiting for an appointment. This will be my piece that I'll get to pull out. I am almost completely, I still need to put in the red top and the side, and I need to go through, and here you can see, so I need to put the purple up the side and down this side. And then once I complete that, my goal will be met for this piece for this month. I do love it. I do love it. It made for very good stitching when I was when I was stitching at StitchCon. I didn't stitch a whole lot at StitchCon, but it was easy, and it is easy for me. These two pieces right here, there's actually a white that goes in this section, so I will put that in the that will be the very last thing that I put in. But you can see, like, when I am sitting around and just in a Zoom meeting, I worked on this yesterday for our Zoom meeting in the monthly magazine group. We had a Zoom meeting for an hour, and so I worked on this during that. I should also be able to, like, do this while I'm watching TV, watching other floss tubes through the week. It is a great piece. And Brooke, thank you so very much for stepping out and putting this chart together for people that love people that live in the LGBTQ community. I really appreciate it. So that was that. And I have been continually working on those pieces, and will be working on them up until the end of the month. Ooh. Oh. Sorry, I'm like, I gotta make sure I keep all this stuff together. I got tables and I got two little standing tables next to me with all the things on it. So that is June. We did receive the July sheet yesterday, and with the theme and the acrostic. And the theme is Christmas in July, and the acrostic for July is jolly. And so I've already started thinking what I'm going to incorporate and what I'm going to keep stitching on in July from my beach theme items and my 4th of July. I don't have very many patriotic pieces. I've never really wanted to stitch on anything patriotic. However, I am doing some pieces and they're nice, so I'll keep them going. So with that being said, let me show you some of my new starts. I talked about getting this is the map of Ohio by Sue Hillis that I purchased. I didn't receive it, I purchased at StitchCon, and it has this one nation under God. And so I did start that on a 28 count Lugana, and I got the first line in, and it didn't take me very long at all. So I'll just keep working on this to have it completed by the 4th of July. It may not be FFO'd, but I can have it finished by then. And then the next patriotic piece that I started, and I started this when I came home from StitchCon, and it is American Spirit by itssewemma, and it was in the Stitch Quarterly last year for the Fat Quarter Shops. They have this is their Stitch Quarterly, where they quarterly send out cross stitch products and chart, fabric, floss, all of that. And so I started this on a 25 I started this on a 25 count Lugana by Lori Holt in the way of parchment, and this is the flag or the star blue part right there. So I've put in a little bit of time on that, and I really do enjoy it. I enjoyed the 28 count, and the 25 count I enjoy also. If you'd have told me 6 months ago that I would enjoy this, I would be like, no way. But I'm glad that I am opening up my mind to different ways, different cloth of different fabric. I am going to show you how I've been able to do that. However, so with Wipgo, I have mentioned in the past that I have really struggled with getting Wipgo started and working on it in the month. So I was laying in the bed the other night and it hit me. I just need to choose a day of the week that I'm going to work on my Wipgo projects. Okay, so I came up with Wipgo Wednesday along with Wellness Wednesday. So on Wednesdays every month, I will be working on both my Wipgo piece and my Wellness Wednesday piece that was started by Christine Stitch All the Things. So this month for Wipgo is for me, it was the January house in the Cottage of the Month series. And so, because my birthday is in January, I took a different spin on this, and I made the January house garnet, which is the birthstone of January. And so I stitched, let me see, I did stitch the top border of it, and I made the January in 8/17, and I started the house also in 8/17, and then yesterday, or this past Wednesday, I was stitching the roof in the brown called for color and did not like it. I had the roof completed all the way over to here and took all of those stitches out and went with a dark gray, which is 04 under the DMC, and I love it. So not only is my house going to be, it's going to look like a Buckeye house because it's going to be gray, red, and white, which is fine with me because I'm a Buckeye. But this is where I'm at right now with it, and I am loving it. I'm still not sure that I'm going to be able to finish all of it by the end of the month because I only have 2 more Wednesdays to go. But I will definitely be getting a lot of good progress on it. I have already decided I am not big on the bottom part down here. I did do the top one, and I guess if it doesn't look balanced, I can take the top one out also, but I know for a fact that I'm not going to put in that bottom one. But ooh, I'm sorry, my fingers look so bad gardening. But that's the Cottage of the Month, and that is my Wipgo, and those numbers were, I thought I had put it down here. It's okay, it's right here. 1 and 17, and so this is both 1 and 17. I am definitely going to reevaluate the whole Wipgo for next year. I think I should have mixed it up more, but I'm not going into that right now. So yesterday was Juneteenth, and I worked on a Stitch for Sweet Freedom yesterday. And I had posted that I had found an error in her collar. So the whole collar had to go. And not only was the collar had an error in it, but her neck also had an error in it. So I had to rip out part of her neck. So sad. I love this piece and I can't seem to get it going. And stay on top of it. So I put her neck back in, put her collar back in, started stitching for her blouse, and realized that, and I don't know if someone else is working on this piece, if you can message me or let me know. When I'm stitching it, and this is what her blouse looks like. However, if I continue stitching it with the 815 that is on the chart, my blouse isn't going to look like this. So if you have already stitched this and stitched the blouse or stitched the whole part and completed it, can you let me know what you actually used for the blouse? Because it seems odd to me that the chart, and I kept looking because I'm like, this, I know what I just did. So what I did is that the DMC for Cherry Cobbler, she gave 816. Because I have both Cherry Cobbler and 816 on my floss ring. So I put them both on there and did not pay attention that I could use the Cherry Cobbler. So now I have the Cherry Cobbler. I probably did not have the Cherry Cobbler when I started this. So I'm going to try to see it. I guess I'm going to have to take the 816 out and restart and put in the Cherry Cobbler, because it's actually I'm using 815, but the chart calls for 816, because I want her blouse to look like it does on the chart, not just one color. So I now know and see the error of my way. So I'll be redoing part of her, but I'm not putting this away until I fix her blouse. I've had this project ever since it came out, and I've gotten no further than what you see right here, because I keep making errors on it, and I am not putting this away until I have some more progress than this after all of this time. So now I will take out just the red and put in the Cherry Cobbler and be able to continue working down that way. I do love this piece, and I really want to keep it out so that I can stitch on it. I actually have been thinking that, so Juneteenth is the 19th of June. So I'm thinking maybe I should, on the 19th of the month, and I'm going to write this in my notes, on the 19th of the month, pull her out and put some stitches, a lot of stitches, not just like 10 stitches, and spend a few hours on her every 19th of the month so that I can move her along. I've had her in this state for too long, and it's ridiculous. So that is going to be my goal. So that is all of the stitching that I have had this week since May and June. I am going to show you, I do have quite a bit of haul. However, I am not going to really, I was trying to think. I didn't show this in my StitchCon, but I did get the Broad X t-shirt from StitchCon. When Gary and Ronnie started doing the state bags, I saw the state Ohio, and so I got the state of Ohio bag. And I really enjoy the size of the mini bag. Because I seem to have smaller projects, they really work well for me with that. I did get my new, I did get my new just cross stitch in the mail this week. And the rest of this I can show you next week. However, I wanted to tell you about my light that I absolutely love. So I told the story in the recap about the light. I did get my light. This one is rechargeable. The base is super heavy. The spring is super thick. So I literally can clamp this on. Oop, and it came on. I can clamp this right onto my Lowry stand and it stays. It doesn't flip back and forth and all of that. This has been a game changer for me. I can see, even though I started the 28 count at StitchCon, I had this little bitty light and, I was like right on top of it. I don't have to do that. This magnifier on here is, it's incredible. It is a Bright-Tech rechargeable magnifying lamp. I will put the information in the show notes below. I love it. I love it so much, in fact, that I'm actually considering getting a second one. For when I sew, if I have to do anything, it is incredible. So for instance, and after this, I'll let you go. On the piece for the American Spirit. So you see how big this is. When I am looking at it through that magnifier, it is literally like this big. I can see every hole. It is wonderful. So I highly, highly recommend this light. If you have trouble seeing the holes, it's wonderful. It truly is. So I thank you all for your attention. I hope I have enabled you in some way with all of my starting, finishing, everything. I have so enjoyed the past month and all that I have been able to participate in. It has really helped me a lot and it has renewed and restored my trust in people. It really has. And I so appreciate you all, and I hope you have a great week of stitching. I hope you can stay cool, and I will see you next time. Bye.